My name is Sunny. I'm one of the co-founders of UnoCoin, which is India's leading Bitcoin company.
All right. What's the status of Bitcoin in India?
The status of Bitcoin in India is great. India's, I would say 2016 was a landmark year for Bitcoin in India. Just as a point of reference, in the last 3 months, our website traffic has nearly tripled. Volumes are on the way up. We have about 125,000 users today. So our main function at UnoCoin is we enable anyone in India to buy, sell, send, receive, use, and accept Bitcoin.
All right. What is the effect of demonetization on Bitcoin purchase?
Yeah, so since that demonetization announcement, like I said, we've seen a kind of a slow, steady growth in terms of our web traffic and volume. And like I said, it's doubled to tripled over the last 2 to 3 months. So it's been good for us.
I have this question. Is Bitcoin legal in India?
So the government till date has said that they're waiting and watching, and they have not put any strict regulatory policies in place. However, we believe that Bitcoins will be regulated, similar to what you're seeing in the United States and other countries. And so as a result, our company, we've put specific controls in place. Even though we're not required by law, we do things like know your client. We make sure we understand who we're dealing with. And the reason behind that is so that we're prepared once the regulations come in. But to date, there's been no regulations put in place in India yet.
So, Sunny, let's say if I purchase Bitcoin from your company,
Mhm.
sell it, make
Yeah.
a ton of money, do I need to pay taxes on it?
So what we recommend to everybody is just to use, common sense. So again, there is no rule or law that says that you must, but if you make a capital gain by buying some sort of other asset, and you would pay taxes on that. So we encourage people to use the same type of judgment. So for example, in our company, we have a tax that we charge, right? A service tax. And so those are all things that we believe that are important to do, especially if you look into the future and if you believe that Bitcoin is going to be ubiquitous, then it's important to start setting the standard for these kind of things.
What's the vision for Bitcoin or Unicoin in India?
So our mission is to bring Bitcoin to billions of people, and yeah, we believe India is the best place to not only build a company that can do that, but it's also the best place in terms of it's one of the largest markets. There's a huge India is probably the biggest gold market in the world. So Bitcoin is kind of like digital gold. So that is having an impact in terms of our market. India is also the largest inward remittance corridor in the world, so Bitcoin makes remittance cheaper, faster. So that's another very interesting thing. And then the third thing I always talk about is India is also the home of many IT professionals and computer technologists, and so we believe that definitely is a perfect place for Bitcoin to prosper.
I purchase Bitcoin. What is the use? What can I do with it?
Great question. So not only do we enable buying and selling of Bitcoin, we also allow merchants to accept Bitcoin. And what we do is, let's say, so for example, Book My Show, Sapna Book House, you can buy flights, there's hundreds of different merchants now in India that you can go spend your Bitcoin. And we work with those companies very closely to enable this. And what we do with these companies is we actually make it so let's say I'm the one who's selling you a pair of shoes. Upon you sending me Bitcoin, it's very difficult as a business owner for me to hold Bitcoin. I have to explain it to my finance guys, my accountants, my lawyers, and it just becomes very messy. So what we do is, let's say you're paying me for the shoe, instantaneously we convert those Bitcoins into rupees and deposit rupees into the merchant's bank account. And so what that does is, from an accounting perspective, from a risk perspective, it really removes a lot of the question marks, but at the same time it allows Bitcoiners to spend Bitcoin.
So let's say I have an e-commerce site and I want to integrate Unicoin.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, so if you have an e-commerce site, you can, we have a merchant gateway. You can go just Google type UnoCoin merchant gateway, you'll find it, and you can easily accept Bitcoin on your website. And like I said, there's hundreds, I think even maybe now thousands of merchants using our mobile app, and so it's a very exciting time.
What are the advantages?
The advantages, many advantages. So the number one advantage is obviously so it's free. So there's no fee when you use a credit card or something like that. There's always a certain fee associated to it. Number two, there's also, from a merchant's perspective, when you accept something like a credit card, there's always a chance of a reversal. thus fraud. So for example, that shoe example, let's say you buy shoes from my online store, I send you the shoes. Now you can technically call your credit card company and say, hey, listen, I didn't get my shoes. So now the credit card company will take the money back from me and give it back to you. And simultaneously, so now you have the shoe and you have the money, and me as the merchant, I have nothing. So that's not a good thing. And so with Bitcoin, however, there is no such thing as reversing transactions. It's a final transaction. And so in that case, it protects merchants from fraud. And like that, there's many other advantages.
How does it protect the user from fraudulent merchants?
That's a good question. You're right in the sense that maybe in its current form today, it might not seem as advantageous, but there are actually very interesting like escrow services that can be built on top of Bitcoin to enable those types of protections as well. They haven't really been developed, or I don't know many of them, but those types of solutions are coming as well to protect merchants. Awesome. Thank you very much.